Hello, here we're with the President of United Chinese American, Hai-Pei Xue. So we will all watch the debate of the first presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden. Afterwards that, many people feel disappointed and they couldn't believe that's our presidential debate. So what's your perspective on this?
To be honest, I read about it, and because having our Chinese American convention here, I haven't got time to watch that. But I kind of get it, and I think I know what happened. I think debate is important, maybe very important, but most likely a voter's decision is made not by the debate,
yes,
but by everything else.
Yes.
Now, debate is just a part of that. And then also, I'm aware there are two debates. So this is the first one. I heard it's pretty bad for Mr. Biden.
I think that it doesn't matter, as what you said. What doesn't matter what the debate is, because people will see what they stand for, what the value they stand for, and also the policy. And from all these years, you've been leading our Chinese American and having a conference every year. And looking about two candidates, who will you vote and why?
I probably will not say who I'm going to vote for.
Okay, that's fine.
Not on open TV.
Yes.
But I would say that American politics become extremely polarized today. And when you have a polarization, and that's when extremism take over. And who suffers? It is those of us in the middle.
Yes.
Those of us independent, moderate Democrat, and moderate Republican. And I know the vast majority of Chinese American, whichever side of aisle they are on, I think we are fundamentally a moderate group. And we will suffer because the two parties that keep going, polarize each other, attacking each other. And that is not a good version of American democracy.
Yes.
Our old version of American democracy is supposed to be everybody persuading each other. Let each other understand more from each other's perspective. But that is getting less and less in the United States. And I'm extremely worried as a Chinese American because our community is squeezed right in the middle. And because our community is under attack because of the worsening U.S.-China relations, any party can, or especially extremist elements, can take advantage of that the fact that the Chinese American are maybe some bad or suspicious, less loyal people. And we can suffer a lot as a result of that.
Yes, actually, you mentioned about that we in the middle will suffer a lot. And what do you see that will suffer most?
What suffer most for Chinese Americans is very obvious. In the last few years, you have a China initiative, and you have all these alien landlords. Just look at what happened in Florida. In Florida alone, you have a bill that's banning Chinese nationals from owning land and property. In Florida alone, you have bills that ask a school to teach elementary school, actual kindergarten kids to learn what an evil communist is and the evil communist China is, right? From kindergarten, right? Imagine all this education, what would it bring when these kids look at the other Chinese-looking kids, what are going to think, hate, right? It is hate, right? Hate. So, and also in Florida alone, you see the bill that bans Chinese international students and visiting scholars from working in a state university. That has never happened ever in our country's history, let alone in a state history. Even during the heydays of the Cold War in the 50s and the 70s and the 60s, we have not banned the Russian international, Soviet Union international student, visiting scholar from working in our university. Although that's a very small number, not a lot, but that has never happened. So look at what happened today. So you said what I'm worried about. I'm very much worried and angry about what's happening in Florida.
Yes, you are the person that really worry and angry, and you've been working so hard. But the fact is, many of our Chinese voters, they don't come out to vote. What are you going to do about it?
I think there's no magical way you can solve that issue. Especially first generation Chinese American, we come from a culture where we're not supposed to be interested in public affairs. We're not supposed to be really caring for each other beyond your own families, right? In fact, it's just the other way around. So it is going to be a harsh learning curve from our community, but because of people like you, what you have done in Silicon Valley year in, year out, the things that people like UCA has been doing for the last 7-8 years, I think we are getting there. We're very slowly getting there, but too slow.
Too slow. Every year you organize this UC conference in Washington, D.C., actually bring a lot of people nationally. So what do you see this conference going, and what the goal you want to achieve?
Yeah, I really see that very soon, maybe in 2 years, our next convention is going to be in Vegas.
Why Vegas?
Because we had 4 conventions on the East Coast. People get a little bit tired to come to Washington, D.C.
I thought you were talking to the people from California in the north, right?
Yeah, but many people on the West Coast say, why don't come over to our West Coast? So in 2 years, we're going to have a next convention in Vegas. I personally predict it will be a huge turnout. What we have this year is 650 people, more or less. I think by 2026, we'll have over 1,000 Chinese Americans who pay their own money, take their own time off, and go to these conventions to get to know each other, help each other, get energy from each other, and start dreaming together.
You know, this year's convention, because this is the third time I attend the UC conference.
Thank you so very much.
I truly enjoy. And this year I can see the difference. It's quite, you have a lot of activities going on. Mm-hmm. And I think that people find the belongings. Right. That is really, really important.
Yes.
But besides Chinese, and have you thought about bring other ethnic groups, diverse community together?
Yeah, of course we need to get Asian Americans together, maybe work. At UCA, I don't think any other Chinese American organization has worked more than us to reach out to other ethnic communities. We are on solid relationship. As you can see yesterday, our program, we are in very solid relationship with Jewish American community, with Latino communities, and with African American community. We did that from our very first convention, and nowadays we go to NAACP's convention, and they come to our convention, and we have just in talk with LULAC and Unidos, 2 Latino national organizations, to say how we will do that kind of exchange too, and so those are the things that I think we're doing more than any other people, but we still need to do more.
And this year is the election year, despite of the debate, election year. So, besides inspire people and calling out people coming out to vote, but there are so many issues. And what are the issues that we should pay attention?
Yeah, you're talking about election related.
Yeah, election related. Yes.
I guess it's most at this time and age. I think number one thing is because the social media. I think what you get to know is that to get the right, accurate information, and the information.
How can they get the accurate information?
I don't know. But,
how do you define the accurate?
Good question. I would still trust most of the mainstream media and their facts finding. I would still.
So you don't trust us? What do you mean?
I mean, it's getting tougher and tougher with social media, and with the AI now they can generate anything and everything. So I have no answer to that, but I just know that there's so many misinformation out there, and you need to learn information not just about its accuracy, but to learn in a context. Why that information is like that, and what is the reason behind that? So it's easy to get caught in a fact on the paper without knowing the whole context.
So I think it's very important that UC can play an important role to educate our community and try to get the trustworthy information, right?
Well, a Chinese American is, as somebody said, is a fractured, if not divided community. And with that, any groups can be labeled as the middle, left, right. And we have a bad habit of putting labels on other people, so you know that.
I heard your labels too.
I'm labeled too, yes. Although those people who labeled me really don't know me much, and they give a lot of information that they think is right. But if I have a chance to talk to them, I can tell them why they are wrong on some of the information. And I think they will, if they're fair enough, they will say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wronged you." So, we just have to live
For
with
the
that.
people who misunderstood you, what do you want to say to them?
No, I just look at my life in its entirety. I may have made some mistake on. If my life is a book with 100 pages, maybe I made some mistake on page 1 or page 5. But in general, you have to look at the people in its entirety, and also we have to understand that everybody change. Everybody changes with the age, with circumstances, with the information they learned. And I'm changing. I've been telling people on the affirmative action issues, I have changed my position 3 times in my whole life in the United States. 30 years, 3 times. So don't take anybody as a fixed quantity, right? Because we are all human beings. At the end of the day, we need to see the humanity side of each of every one of us. Even the people you hated most, they are still have a side of humanity that is worth our respect.
For all these years, I know you for 10 years, and Haipei is a person who dedicated his whole life, his time and his heart, everything to Chinese Americans in the United States. So it's all the learning procedure for all of us. We maybe sometimes change, but we fundamentally we see who he is, who this person is.
Right.
You are the person that we can trust. Thank you.
No, thank you for Ding TV, and what a wonderful platform we have. I really hope that people especially on the West Coast, you are fortunate to have Ding TV and Diana to be there with you, for you, and on your behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, Happy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Joe, come here.